Well, good morning. Good morning. This is Coffee with Carol. And today I want to talk about selecting the right leader. Today, across our nation, there are different voting opportunities. Mayors, council members are up for election in several counties, towns, and principalities. And so you may be preparing yourself to go out and vote. And I wanted to talk about this from a biblical standpoint, because when we are looking to put leaders into positions of leadership and direction and guiding us into the future, we want to choose leaders who are going to really uphold the principles that we believe in. And so I want to start out with Proverbs 29:2, and this is the King James Version. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth the rule, the people mourn. A righteous person is someone who is seeking after God. A righteous person is someone who is obedient to what God is asking that person to do. That is a righteous person. So when we're looking at those that we want to put into authority, do they speak that language, or are they, kind of going with what the popular vote would be or the popular crowd would want? So that's the first thing to think about: who we want in authority. We want righteous, seeking after God, looking for the obedience in that way, right? The next thing that I think is really important for us is that no matter what, right? 1 Timothy 2:1-2 says, and this is in the easy to read version: first of all, I ask that you pray for all people. Ask God to bless them and give them what they need, and give thanks. You should pray for rulers and all who have authority. Pray for these leaders so that we can live quiet and peaceful lives full of devotion to God and respect for Him. So this is kind of another way of looking at this. No matter who's in authority, no matter who's in that place, that we pray that God would bless them and give them what they need. That we ask for God's blessing on whoever's leading us. That God would change their hearts, that God would be a present spirit in their lives. Okay. So not only do we want to vote for those who are righteous and put them into authority, but we want to pray for all of those who are in authority, no matter what we believe, and pray that God would bless them and that He would give them what they need. Those are really important things. Something I found that was interesting, and this is not a political move here, but something I think is important for you to think about, that God would put this in this way in the Bible. And I looked up several different translations, and it does say this in several translations. In Ecclesiastes 10:2, in the ESV version, a wise man's heart inclines him to the right, but a fool's heart to the left. I found that so interesting because these are terms that we use in today's world. And this is, again, not a political stand on my part, but really just to have us go and reflect. What is God saying to you in Ecclesiastes 10:2? And go look at several different translations and see what it says to you and what it speaks to you, because this is an important piece. When we're looking at making a decision for who we want in leadership and who we want to lead us, we want to look for a leader who obeys God and serves people, serves man in that obedience. We don't want someone who's just serving man, right? Who's serving what you want to hear, who's power hungry, right? Satan tempted Jesus with that power hungry attitude, the power and success of giving him all the cities that he wanted to rule over. And Jesus replied that you don't worship anybody but God, and that you don't serve anybody but God. And so he just passed on that. But I think we have a lot of power hungry leaders in our world today. So here's some warning signs. Here's some things you can look for. Things that you can help you decide whether this person is seeking more the power of the position or seeking to represent the power of God in his life. Okay. First of all, they want all their information up front, and they get a little bit angry and a little bit upset if they don't get the information first. The people that they hire, this is number 2, the people that they hire or they keep around them seem to agree with everything that they say. And if they don't agree, they're usually put out to pasture, so to speak. The third thought is that they seem to only spend time with people that can help them gain more influence and greater position and status. Number 4, they seek out weaknesses in others and tear down those who disagree with them. Number 5, they try to defame the character of their competition instead of just speaking to their talents and abilities. Number 6, they continually talk about what they've done, all of their accomplishments. They boast about themselves. Number 7, they look for ways to increase their territory and their influence by any means necessary. Number 8, they use their title and their status versus their actual name. That's a big one. Number 9, they care more about what strangers and the crowd think of them than their own family. And number 10, they spend more time building connections in the world and in the public eye than they do in strengthening their personal relationships. Do you see the core values that you want represented, the actions that you want to see, the core values of honesty and integrity and servant leadership, consistent behaviors, steadfastness? Do you see that in the person that you are looking to put into that position of leadership? What if all the choices for who you can vote for leave you just thinking, oh my word, I don't have a choice. One isn't really better than the other. What do you do then? What do you do then? Well, John Maxwell talked about a crisis, because I think that if we look at this as a crisis, it's helpful to understand maybe a little bit about this process and what is going on. And John Maxwell says that the dictionary defines crisis as an intense time of great difficulty. Medically, the term crisis means a turning point. Greek defines a crisis as decision. And John said, let's put it all together. John said, a time of intense difficulty requiring a decision that is a turning point. So what can we look for then in order to make this decision in that crisis of a situation? We can look for someone with courage, someone with conviction, someone who really believes what they are saying, and someone who is patient with others and patient with listening. Someone who seeks to understand rather than be understood, and who asks questions before offering a suggestion, and is okay with letting someone else's idea trump theirs. most importantly, I would say to you that as you're making this decision, that you go to God and you ask his opinion, because Isaiah 30, verse 21 says, whether you turn to the right or the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. Again, I find it interesting that those words are used, because I think that it can mean something in our world today. So Isaiah 30:21, whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk into it. Trust that when God gives you direction, that it's the right way to go. And even if it's contrary to what you thought you were going to do, take a chance, take a risk. God does the how and you do the do. Make it a great day. And I wish for us to put leaders in position that will really build up our communities, our towns, and our world. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.